Our journey begins in 2015 when we first met with the leaders and people of Hato Rincon to listen to their stories and begin to understand their history, their struggles and needs, and their dreams of a better future. From these meeting, the need for a community education and resource center was identified and the Career Committee was born. Career, meaning to believe in Spanish, was a fitting project name acronym. With the project site location selected, we were ready to begin the design of the building. We returned to Hato Rincon in January of 2017. We met with the Career Committee to review the building design and discuss alternatives. Over shared meals, we gained valuable feedback and insight on local building practices and limitation on getting materials to the remote location. On this trip, we would also begin planning the future construction phases. Our first construction implementation trip was during the summer of 2017, where we reviewed the final construction drawings, surveyed the site, established benchmarks, and staked the building corners. With the building site being on a moderate slope, extensive excavation was required, removing over 40 cubic yards of large boulders and rocky soil. This was hard work requiring a lot of community volunteer manpower. We would also begin collecting, screening, and sorting aggregates for the production of handmade concrete block and concrete. Aggregate collection would typically take a crew of 3 to 4 people. We returned in late December 2017 to continue work, digging and placing footings. By the end of 2017, we had built not only a solid foundation for the building, but also support for the project and deep personal relationships. The summer of 2018 would be the year of pours, both concrete pours and pouring rain. Our team planned a 5-week implementation trip, rotating out teams each weekend. We had an ambitious goal of completing all foundation work that summer, which required a big commitment from community volunteers. We started with the production of concrete block and concrete stem walls. With the purchase of a concrete block mold press, the volunteers were taught how to properly make CMU that would pass the drop test. We worked closely with volunteers who were eager to learn how to properly place and finish concrete slabs. These were long, labor-intensive days from sun up to sundown, working rain or shine to accomplish our goal of complete all slabs that summer. Block making and building masonry walls started taking shape, which rose excitement in the community members as the building started coming above ground. 2019 was a very productive year with a 4-week implementation trip. The exterior walls were designed using reinforced confined masonry. The early weeks saw quick progress on the walls with teams of volunteers collecting aggregates for the concrete columns, laying concrete block, and building formwork. We would have daily morning meetings with the volunteers to go over the day's tasks and teach them new skills. There were many challenges to overcome, from inexperienced EWB team members to community volunteers without the knowledge or skills for the type of building construction being undertaken. Tools breaking and running out of materials was a daily challenge. The roof trusses were constructed using cold-formed metal cord and web members with metal gusset plates fastened with self-tapping screws. Each truss was approximately 32 feet long and 5 feet deep, weighing several hundred pounds. The truss erection brought together all of the community to help lift and witness this enthralling erection sequence. Let's take a look at one of 5 of truss erections that were completed on site.
Arriba, hacia la escuela, hacia la escuela, hacia la escuela. Vamos por arriba. Hacia arriba ahora. Sacada. Cuidado con los pies. ¡Suave! 1, 2, 3. Hato.
By the end of the week, we had done it. We had raised the roof. We left the community with detailed instructions on the proper installation of the metal roof, which they accomplished by January 2020. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the partially completed structure became a storage warehouse for food supply by the Panamanian government. The window and door openings were boarded over for security and to keep everything dry. Our EWB team kept in constant communication throughout the pandemic and made plans for completing the project. When the COVID travel restrictions were finally lifted in late summer of 2022, we sprang into action and returned that October to continue construction with the goal of building the front porch in 5 days. After quickly excavating the footings and placing concrete, we began building the sidewalls and columns that would support the porch roof. The first few days of the week, we had good weather and make a lot of progress each day. In addition to building the roof, we also began installing translucent panels on the gable ends of the roof. Raining daily, the second half of the week brought challenges with mixing and placing the concrete porch slabs. We finally had a structure that was starting to look like a library. During each of these trips, we were teaching new skills to the local volunteers who were beginning to use on the construction of their own homes. Our next trip was in the summer of 2023. With a roof over the building, we began lodging at our construction site and started working as soon as we woke up in the morning. Our team continued working tirelessly to enclose the building, ensuring it was secure and weatherproof. We fabricated doors and windows, installing them with precision and care. The porch enclosure was completed, and a pipe for a spout was installed at the building entrance. No trip is complete without some concrete pours, so this time also we poured a slab over an interior security room. As soon as some wooden benches were built, everyone started using them. Miscellaneous tasks like painting, installing grills on windows, and adding gutters were also completed, enhancing the building's functionality. The project also gained the attention of a government skills training program who used the building for teaching the volunteers how to make and install stucco on the walls. The EWB team even conducted a carpentry workshop for students, teaching them valuable skills. A large barn door-style sliding wall that separates a storage area from the main library reading room was also built. As the building construction was coming to an end, in a community meeting, an impromptu skit with EWB volunteers was performed, emphasizing the transfer of library ownership to the community. Finally, the library was ready and decorated for a grand opening organized by the local government authorities. It was immensely satisfying to see children fond of the library, staying even after sundown, engrossed in their new haven of knowledge. The team returned to Panama to finish off miscellaneous tasks and light up the building using solar panels and some bright colors. The building was painted with the community's indigenous pattern, and the entire community came together to finish painting it. A second coat was applied inside, and more bookshelves and tables were built. Solar panels were installed, electrifying the building. This would become the only building in the region with electricity to power lights and computers. We used the installation of the solar panel system as a learning opportunity so that they would operate and maintain the system themselves. Each student was given a certificate of completion at the end of the course. With these final touches, the library was complete. Each trip to the community, our EWB team members would collect and bring books to stock the shelves of the library. We were not only constructing a building, but we're also building up their library book collection. 2024 was the last project implementation trip, and the library is now open.